Okay, we should be live. And hello everyone. Hope everyone is doing good. Today we are here
Hello.
joined with some amazing MSPs. We've got Sunda, we've got Saumya, we've got Kostab, and we have Kashish. And we're doing an amazing event with Pooja Sund. And she's an incredible person. She has the formal title of Director of Technology at Microsoft, but what she says is leadership is not a title given to you. And she'll go into this more in the episode today. And yeah, I'm going to let Saumya actually properly introduce Pooja. So hi Saumya. Saumya, I think your mic's muted. Anyone else there?
Yep.
Cool. I think Saumya's muted. But I think, yeah, you should be able to hear me in the chat as well, right? But yeah, that's working. Hi, I guess Saumya's muted, but hi Pooja, how are you?
Doing good. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're doing really great. Yeah.
We're excited.
I'm fine.
Thank you for pulling this off. I know it was a great effort on your side. So thank you for contributing to your community and for bringing this experience for others.
So it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to connect with such amazing people like you and just members in the community. Like everyone working together on this call. We literally, it was on Monday where the planning started, and it's like, yeah, to be able to do this with such amazing people and create these events together is really amazing. So we're really grateful to have you here, and we have so much to learn from you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're super inspirational for us.
Oh, you're too kind. So can I start?
Yeah. It seems like Saumya's back actually.
Okay.
Hi Saumya. Yeah, if not, I guess we can go ahead and start.
I think she has some connectivity issue. Sorry.
Yeah, I think I guess we'll go ahead and start then, Pooja. So yeah, take it away. And
thank you.
If anyone does have questions, leave them in the chat. It's going to be interactive, so keep asking questions.
Very good. Thank you, Salman. Hello, everyone. I hope all of you are doing great. I know we all are dealing with these new daily adventures during this pandemic. So I'm here, Pooja Sund, sending you so many good wishes to stay positive, to stay resilient, and to keep being brave, because together we can go through this. And I'll just say, as Salman mentioned, I want this session to be really interactive, because guess what? I am here to share my experiences with you, but in return, I want to learn from you that what are your key takeaways. So let's all dig in. The focus today is on the topic of leadership. And if you haven't had the time to connect with me yet, connect with me on LinkedIn. Pooja3P is my profile, and I normally like to post feeds or posts related to leadership, excellence, data analytics, data science, and then all of the other topics that have been related to digital transformation. So you can follow me there, and I'm going to assure you that you would get something in return. So let's dig in. Just give me a second here. Okay. Salman, can you confirm if you see the second slide?
We see leadership at the moment. Yes, we see
Yes,
foundation of leadership, second slide.
Perfect. So
Yes,
I want to dig in into, was it Kashish?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, can I start?
Yes, sure, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So let's start with leadership. A key question that I have for you is around leadership. What do you think is the foundation of leadership? What is the most important thing that you need to be a leader? As Salman mentioned in the beginning of the call, leadership is not a title. that's given to you. It's a responsibility that we all have to play. And you do not need to be a director. You do not need to be a CVP. You do not need to be a person of authority. You can be a leader wherever you are. So the question that I want you guys to answer in the chat window is, what do you think, according to you, is the foundation of leadership? What is the most crucial thing that you need to be a leader?
Yeah,
Think.
everyone put your answers in the chat as well. I would like actually someone from the like Sundar. Would you like to say what you think, your opinion on
Um,
this?
the most important thing for being a leader is first of all thing, a lot of patience, and second being like the being mixing, able to mix with different types of people, because we meet there, because there are so many people with different kind of mentalities. We need to be in sync with everyone, and make, because if two natures are not like together, it would just create like quarrels and everything. So you need to just kind of like understand each and everyone's mentality and nature, and go with them.
Very good. So collaborative teammate and sort of mind sharing, understanding each other's perspective.
Yes.
Salman, what do you think? What is the most important foundation of leadership?
Personally, when it comes to the most important key factor is being able to actually empathize with people, because
Okay.
empathy to me is like that's the key. And removing any levels of hierarchy at all in a business is what, like, when running and organizing people, is what I really think is very important. Because like you don't want there to be levels of hey, I need to go through this level of management to just talk to the CEO.
Yeah.
As soon
Yes.
as it's a thing which I know it's maybe not good to mention other companies, but Facebook themselves did this, where they made their whole redevelopment of their building and stuff, where it was just a flat land, and that's to promote the ability to have like everyone on the same level, not
Yeah.
just in terms of like, hey, I'm people's bosses and stuff like that, but to be able to say, okay, I'm just gonna go have coffee, and I might see the CEO right there,
Yeah.
things like that. So yeah,
Very
being able
good.
to be transparent and have no hierarchies, be empathetic with everyone, I think that's key.
Very good. So leading
And
with empathy is what Salman said. So I would like to call out here. So you both gave a different perspective. So dealing with different people, understanding their perspectives, and dealing with empathy. When I have done these sessions before, but I have found people saying you need confidence, you need charisma, there are born leaders, you need to have the dedication to succeed, you need to be able to work with other people. But I believe the foundation of leadership begins with trust. The most important thing begins with trust. Leadership begins not only when others trust you, it begins when you trust yourself. And I'm going to repeat it. You need to trust yourself before others begin to trust you. And that's where the foundation is. And this trust triangle has three key parameters: logic, authenticity, and empathy. And what you guys just described were two elements. You need to be very authentic, transparent, is what you said, and you need to have the empathy when you are dealing with other people. At the same time, you need to have that logic. You need to have that understanding that I know you can do it. Your reasoning and judgment are sound. And that's why this trust is most important thing. So make sure, if you want to build your leadership influence, start trusting yourself first. When you trust yourself, others would start trusting you.
Yeah, I would like to say, someone in the chat actually mentioned an awesome thing from Satya. So Anush pointed out that
yeah,
Satya said in his book, leadership is about bringing out the best in everyone.
out the best in everyone.
That's awesome. And Satya is the CEO of Microsoft, and I would say, in awe of his leadership style, dealing with empathy, dealing with trust, having this right culture is where Satya's mind is. And that's why we are able to create this culture within Microsoft. So let's go further. What is leadership? The action of leading a group of people or an organization is leadership. And I have posted an article. I do want you guys to click at that link after this session, because when you go to Harvard Business Review, there is a section for leadership, for management. When you click on that section, there are so many articles related to leadership. So when you have time, just go and get yourself versed with them. So successful leaders know that their values not only lies in managing teams and inspiring others, but their value lies in creating culture of excellence, in letting them be the best version of themselves. So there are three goals that I have for this session today. Number one, I want to challenge your current perceptions about leadership and the values that shape it. Number two, I want to encourage you to think and lead differently and how you can be a person of influence. You do not need to wait for you to be in an MNC. You can definitely be a person of influence right where you are in your career right now. And number three, I want to help you create your personal brand, leveraging your superpowers and charge your career. So let's dig in. Let me help you by walking you through a couple of the key concepts that were not taught in the MBA institute that I was there. These are the things that I have learned over the course of years from my mentors, from my sponsors, and from people who I admire. So let's start with executive presence is going to be the one that I'm going to talk about. How to be your authentic self is going to be the second one. How to build your personal brand and how do you manage up, down, and across. And then with a specific focus on how can you demonstrate leadership during this pandemic. So since we all are dealing with COVID, there is not even a single person who can say, hey, I don't know what COVID is because we all are dealing with it. So this has become, I would say, essential for everyone to know. The speed and scope of coronavirus crisis across the world has posed extraordinary challenges for us. And when this situation is uncertain, this causes leaders, people like us, to be anxious. We are fearful at times. We don't know what's going to happen. So what can we do during this time? There is a test that we all can take. And one of the tests that was being done, I would say, by New Zealand's Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, what she did is when other people around the world, when other leaders were still thinking about, oh, this is too early, it's still in China, she actually went ahead and she put the curb, she just stopped everything. And she said, let us start with phase one right then and there. And that's why New Zealand has very few cases of coronavirus. So that's a leadership lesson that we can learn from her, leaders like her. What did she do well? This has been compiled very well in a Harvard Business Review article, which says that there are two key ways of dealing with anxiety, how you can overcome your instincts. Left hand side, when you're dealing with uncertainty, then you are waiting for additional information. You are downplaying the threat, just like one of our, I would just mention, note the name, one of our key leader in US is downplaying the threat, then doubling down to explain more actions more clearly, and they just want to go with the course. They'll be like, oh, it's okay, let's wait for this thing to settle down, it's gonna being taken care by itself. No, leaders like New Zealand's Prime Minister and others, or people like us who would like to still go ahead and move forward, what's needed in a crisis? You need to act with urgency. You need to communicate with transparency. And it goes back to the foundation of leadership. You need to be transparent and accountable. And then you need to take responsibility and focus on solving problems rather than downplaying it. Oh, it's going to be taken care of by itself. No, you focus on what are the different things that we can do. Can we put more restrictions in? Can we extend stay at home orders, or can we invest more in R&D? We need to keep focusing on solving problems. And the last and most important thing that you can do is engaging in constant updating. As a leader, it becomes a norm. It becomes your responsibility to keep on communicating. More and more you will communicate, you will build that vicious circle of trust. So this message is for all of us who are listening to this session. In order to be a leader, make sure you would have constant communication with your people, whether it's sending them positive messages, whether it's reinforcing them that we all are in it together, we'll get through this together. Everything and each and everything matters at this time. And I would like to circle back with what Salman mentioned earlier in the call, was leading with empathy. Absolutely. Leadership in an uncertain and fast moving crisis means making oneself available to feel what others are going through. If you are just a leader who would care for themselves, you are not going to be a leader for a long time. because you need to be able to understand what others are going through, even though you are not in that situation. And then you bring compassion to the equation, which is empathy is just feeling what others are going through. Compassion, as Jeff Weiner, old ex-CEO of LinkedIn, was describing, he was saying that you need to not just feel what other people are feeling, you need to then bring it to your perspective and you need to say, what can I do to solve that problem for them? So that's where leadership is. Now let's talk about executive presence. Have you met with people, when you meet them, you feel like, oh my God, that confidence, that poise, that confidence, and then charisma is there in that in that person. That's what we call it as executive presence. And you do not need to be shy with your style. Whether you're an extrovert or an introvert, you can still demonstrate your executive presence. Bill Gates, Satya Nadella, they are not extroverts, but they are able to have great executive presence just because of their style. And even our ex-president, President Barack Obama. So these are the people who have demonstrated their true self. So an authentic energy that communicates to others your confidence, your poise, and willingness to get the job done. Get the stuff done. Be excellent in terms of execution, and then you are already demonstrating executive presence. So what is the key takeaway for you guys over here? As a MSP or non-MSP, what you can do is wherever you are in that moment, enter into that room, enter into that meeting, enter into that conversation with an intention. What is it that you would like to achieve? Speak up. Again, depending on the styles, you can choose to be vocal in the meeting, or if you are an introvert, what you can do is you can actually send messages. You can put your message in the IM, or you can draft an email and send it as a pre-read, or you can send it after. But please do not hold your ideas to yourself. Speaking up means expressing yourself. Find out and leverage different venues available to you, but speak up. And this will help you make a great impression. Your communication skills and your well-managed appearance will demonstrate that energy. So now I'm coming to you all. Do you have your 2-minute elevator pitch ready? What I mean by that is, when you meet someone, how do you introduce yourself to them? And I'm going to show you first what I mean by that, and then I'm going to pose this question to you all. For example, my elevator pitch is, hello, I am Pooja Sund. I have completeness of vision and ability to execute on the vision by leading teams. I'm a technology leader, speaker, coach, and a volunteer. I love to make an impact by utilizing my brand of 3P: passion for latest technology, data analytics, business intelligence, power to believe in myself and others, power to fix things, to create clarity, generate positive energy, set them up for success, and most importantly, people and teams to be successful. So now the question to you guys is, what is your elevator pitch? And you can start with just saying, what do you think describes you? So I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes. It's 9:51 over here. So I'll give you 2 minutes. I want you guys to be interactive. Let me help you out. So write it down in the chat window.
Yeah, even if you want to post your elevator pitch on social media and take a screenshot of the screen as well so that people know what you're doing. Yeah, just come up with everything you know.
Yep, very good. And Salman, Sundar, Kashish, Kaustubh, Saumya, I want you guys to do this exercise along with other people. Let's start to
Yes,
do this.
ma'am.
I've actually,
Definitely, ma'am.
I think I've got one as well from before. Yeah, I'm used to this whole elevator pitch thing. Do you want me to say mine? Oh no, I don't think I should.
Yeah, so people who have it, put that in the chat window. People who do not have it, just try to come up with at least couple of words. If not the full statement, just couple of words that describe you as a person.
Yeah, give you about 1 more minute, everyone. Oh, if you've just joined in the chat, this is a session on leadership and career by Pooja Sund. She has 14 years experience at Microsoft, is the director of technology, but as she mentioned, she's saying that, like, anyone can be leaders, and that's what she's teaching you today. That's an update if you just joined. We actually have like, since we have a small break, we could ask like one question from the audience. I guess we have one question which is from Anush, I think, which was how would you make people with different opinions work together if there's a conflict?
So if there is a conflict, how do you let people with different opinions work together? As long as they can acknowledge that each and everybody is different and their different perspectives are going to help us bring that collective energy, I think we will be able to move them along. So be explicit in terms of asking questions. When you're dealing with people who are having different opinions, do not ask them direct questions, ask them open-ended questions. What do you think? Help me understand. How can we do it better? And when you ask questions like this, you are building on each other's smartness rather than conflicting with them.
Wow, yeah, that's really good.
If that helps.
Ma'am, we have received some answers as well for the question.
Yes, please go ahead. Shoot me 2 or 3.
So here is Adija. I am Adija Al Hassan, a technology official and advocate for women empowerment. I love building the capacities of young women to build their confidence in which they love to do.
Love it. Love it. Go for the women empowerment piece. Very good. Very well done. Other piece? Any other elevator pitch?
Yes.
Another one from
we have.
No, I think Kashish had one.
It's okay. Like, it's from Shirpat Ladha. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. I'm passionate about data and how organizations make data-driven decisions using analytics and SQL. I have taken courses in my curriculum to enhance these skills.
Very good.
And I want to apply these skills to gain industry experience. My tech skills include statistics, data analysis, business intelligence, data warehousing, SQL, R, and Excel. And functional skills include self-starter. The chat is going up. Functional skills include self-starter, critical and analytical thinking, meticulous, hardworking, good time manager, and always having a positive attitude towards learning.
Oh, love it, Shilpa. I mean, the way that you have actually created some themes coming out from your elevator pitch. So you are actually mentioning some of the future ready skills that employers are looking for. So, and you have already embedded that in your elevator pitch. So very good job. So let's move on. Your elevator pitch, if you haven't had the time to work on your elevator pitch yet, make sure after this session you work on your elevator pitch. And after this session, whoever you are meeting with, introducing yourself for the first time, or you are having conversations with the prospective hiring manager, make sure you start with your elevator pitch, because the moment you are going to write it down, it's going to ingrain in your brain, and you're going to be able to charge your career and take ownership of it, because you need to be very clear in terms of where do you want to go. Now let's move on to the second one. So we covered executive presence. Now we are going to go ahead.
I would like to interrupt. There is a question again that what is elevator pitch? Can you repeat it again for him?
Yes. So elevator pitch, as the name suggests, actually elevator is when you are in a big building and you have to go from one floor to other floor, you will take an elevator, right? So what that means is essentially the idea is coming in from this notion of, let's say you are stuck in an elevator, or you're going in an elevator and the CEO of the company or CFO of the company would come. You have 2 minutes, because then the next floor is going to come and he or she is going to be out. So what do you do in those 2 minutes to let them know what you are working on, or who you are? And that's why this notion of 2-minute elevator pitch need to be ready all the time is very important. So when you're meeting someone for the first time, make sure you deliver that impression that you are there as a leader. I hope that clears.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So let me move on. Now, after working on our executive presence, entering the room with an intention, working on your elevator pitch, you're going to go on and understand about authentic self. So why do I say that? People like us, people who are here in this world, they need to be true to themselves, and then you are able to be the best version. So you need to understand, what are you passionate about? And it's okay for you guys to say, if someone would say, I don't know yet what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about so many things. That's okay. Maybe once I figure out what you are passionate about, you can be yourself. You can be whole. You can be authentic. And you can be resilient. So, what is your to do list here? Be honest. Research. Write down the problems that you want to solve. Maybe, like Shilpa, you want to solve problems using data analytics, data warehouse, or you are like other people who are very keen on solving cybersecurity problems. So, how do you want to solve these problems? Extract your skill set and create a roadmap for you, because key to building resilience is authenticity. So what I'm asking you guys to do over here is, in order for you to be a leader, you need to be honest with yourself. You need to do some digging into yourself, saying, these are the skills that I have to offer to this world. This is where I want to go. And once you have it, you would be able to understand your true self. And once that is clear, no matter where you're going to be, you can build your own startup or you can be in any MNC, you would be able to know that this is what you have to offer, and people around you would know that you are that powerhouse who is clear about their potential, and you would be able to create that authenticity around you. So, questions. Answer in the chat window. What are your strengths? Where do you think you belong? I'm going to give you guys 1 minute. Where do you think you guys belong?
Costa, would you like to answer this one?
Yeah, sure. Personally, I believe that I'm a tech enthusiast. I love personally, I love learning a lot about Internet of Things, which is one of the things that excites me a lot.
Very good.
So yeah, and I believe that I belong in an MNC, in a company basically, which uh, teaches a lot about Internet of Things. It's doing research in that field, so that not only do I build products simultaneously, but I also get to learn a lot.
Very
So,
good. So come and join Microsoft. Huge
well,
industry for IoT.
I'm actually trying to do that. I'm really preparing for that.
Very good. And you know what? These things that I'm walking you through, you use that in your interviews, in building your resume, because guess what? All of us would have technical skills somehow to an extent same. So how do you differentiate yourself? How do you bring that authenticity to your resume, to your elevator pitch? That's what we are working on. Let's take one more input. So anyone, Sundar, Salman, anything that you guys would like to add? Where do you think you belong?
I want
Go ahead, Salman.
Cinder to answer this.
Okay. So my strengths would be that I try to be a good listener, because I don't like people. I don't want to interrupt people. So I just listen to them and understand them, like what's they're saying, what's their viewpoint, and then reply to them. And that makes me like adjust like in any space, so that if I join a new group, I try to I try to first sense how are they speaking, how are they reacting to everything, and then I mix up in such a way that in short they would just I would be just a gang. So kind of mixing up with everyone is my strength. I get in sync with anyone.
Very
Yeah.
good. Very
Ma'am, we
good.
have a couple of answers as well.
Yes, please
So,
go ahead. Let me know.
yeah, Adrija has answered communication and good interpersonal relationships.
Mhm.
And Shripad, he's saying that he loves to take up challenges and solve real world problems.
Very good. Problem solver.
Yeah. Uh, Ganesh Tiwari also says that he loves learning about people and connecting with them. He loves working with others and helping them and learning from all of them.
Very
And
good. So you are a
yeah,
connector, Ganesh.
And he is a
Very
good
good.
and he's pretty good.
We also we also have different. Simon Odge says, his strength. Whoa. My strength is mentor and someone to help others to learn to technology. I didn't choose that. I'm literally just reading the chat. What? Wow.
He's raising a very good point because all of us are very privileged. We are blessed in a way, and we have this platform that we need to use to share our learnings with others. Because the more and more you'll give back to others, you will see that it's a circle and you would feel that satisfaction, inner satisfaction. So I love it when somebody would say that they like to mentor people, to bring them along with them. It's just like it's a great feeling in the world. So let's move on. We are going closer to our timeline. So how do you build your authenticity? Build your authenticity and everyone would come along with you. Withholding your true self puts a cap on trust and on your ability to lead. So I want to bring you back to the first part of our conversation. So people who joined late, in the beginning, we asked the question, what is the most important thing to be in a leader? You need to have the trust in your capabilities. And if you are withholding your own self, you are putting a cap on that trust. Do not put something on the trust. That trust needs to be visible and you need to be able to build yourself. So now let me move on to the superpowers. And I like the fact whenever this concept of superpower kicks in, my husband would just blow the shunk and it tells me that there is a divine superpower that is there to help all of us flourish in our career. So let's harness our superpowers to create your career. What can you do to have your superpowers being visible to you? You need to work on your physical strength, mental strength, and emotional strength. And when you have these three strengths together, you need to be able to balance and integrate all three dimensions to develop your superpowers. Yes, I'm talking about people like Spider-Man, Wonder Woman. We all have our own superpowers and we all are unique in our own ways. We need to really understand what makes us unique. So let's talk about the physical superpower. In order to build the superpower, you need to be physically fit, have the stamina, have the right posture. I don't know if you guys know it or not. So let me repeat it. There is a psychologist, Amy Cuddy, and her TED Talk is so famous when she talks about how to build that stamina and that presence. She says, you need to stand up and do like this. You need to have that posture and you need to be straight. You need to lean in into the conversations and have focus. Do not get distracted with phone here, Twitter here, Facebook chats here. Focus on the thing that you are working on in a given moment and you can build your physical strength. Then in order to have the superpower, you need to be mentally strong. You need to have the knowledge. You need to keep on learning, keep on reading. There is so much available out there. edX, Udemy, Coursera, there are so many courses there. You can look at so many articles that are being published. Follow people on LinkedIn, follow people, their advice, subscribe to their newsletter, and have some clarity. What I mean by that is, in this technology world, in this world of cloud, big data, and AI, you can, let's say, you can be disorganized unless you know where do you want to go. So I'm going to use an analogy here. Let's say we all or I'm going to just use this statement. We all like sitting in cars. If you are the one driving your car, who else do you want to bring it along? And do you want to ask the people who is sitting right next to you or people who are behind you, hey, where do you want to go? Or you want to take your career where you want to take it? So be clear, be your own GPS and ask people for advice if you want. And have that confidence. Be confident in yourself, in your own skin. Once you have it, you have the mental strength. Now let's talk about emotional dimension. How do you keep challenges in perspective by controlling your thoughts, feelings, and behavior? Be aware of your blind spots. And I like the fact that a couple of people, Ganesh from the audience and other people said they like to connect with people. Sundar also mentioned. So when you are aware of your blind spots, when you know how to connect to other people and to yourself, and when you know how to balance priorities, you would be able to build your superpowers. So let's do this exercise. My superpowers, my brand of 3P is my superpower. Be bold, be brave, and be you is me. So let's work on yours. Think and write down. You can be a person of influence. What are your superpowers? And I want just you to use some words that describe your superpowers. So let's see what you guys have to say.
Pooja, can I ask, when you were mentioning the whole, the standing up, being strong, this to do with the power posing, right?
Yes.
I literally, before this call, I was mentioning to people in the call, power pose, like fake it till you make it. It's incredible because it's that psychology. I am a huge lover of psychology. People, I just, yeah, and it because when you mentioned it, you didn't mention the power pose, but it directly like links with the superpowers that you're mentioning right now.
Yep.
It's incredible.
So very great. A good point in connecting the things together, Salman. I 100% agree with you. In order to have the power pose, you need to be able to get into somebody's shoes and then you can be that person. And again, make sure that you be the person who you want to be. So be your authentic self and learn from others. And maybe there are some skills that you like in other people that you would like to emulate. Bring them to your own powerhouse. Do not be that person. Be you and bring those skills to you. So let me ask you guys, what do you think are people entering? What are their superpowers?
I would like to answer mine.
Sure.
The superpower which I feel is that I am honest to everyone. Like even if there are issues, I don't bluff it, and I am honest about my opinions. And I feel that matters too much for being a leader, because you need to be honest with your team, and then only they will be honest to you.
Very good. I love it. Thank you for sharing. Honesty is the best policy that we used to learn when we were a kid, right?
Yeah.
And that still holds true. Anybody else would like to share?
I want to share mine.
Yeah. Sure,
I
go
would
ahead.
like
Okay.
to add on that
Go ahead.
my superpower is that I have a very supportive nature, and whatever task I undertake, I try to do it with the best of my abilities. So I always try to take up most of the responsibility so that I can do it in a better way.
Nice. Good job.
Okay. So I did like this was a quote that was said by Satya Nadella in some interview. So he did said that be bold and be right. If you're not bold, you're never going to reach new heights, and if you're not right, you're not going to stay there. So that's my like main two goals, like be bold and be right.
I like it. Very good. Be bold and be right. And it's okay, not for you to be right all the time, as long as you can recognize that I was wrong here and I'm going to say that I was wrong and you're going to take a corrective action, learn from it, then you're going to learn more. And I actually like the fact, Sundar, that you mentioned, because there is a piece of it that I'm going to talk about that would tie back to what you just said. So let's move on. So there's a great quote by Jason Reynolds, and he said, having a superpower has nothing to do with the ability to fly or jump or superhuman strength. The truest superpowers are the ones that we all possess: willpower, integrity, and most importantly, courage, boldness. That's what we all have. So let's try to harness the power of our superpowers. So now this slide, I actually took advice from Saumya, and she was telling me if I can work with you all and let you understand how did I take charge of my career and what can you do. So thank you so much for letting me know. So I would say the best advice that I can give it to you, how you can charge your career. Number one, network, network, network. Network with people, find your allies, find your mentors, and find your sponsors. Number two, learn how to communicate across all three levels: up, down, and across. Number three, something Sundar that you just mentioned: be bold, be right, and be ready to learn. Embrace growth mindset. And fourth, my favorite one, which is learning should never stop. No matter where you are, you should not feel like you are the smartest person in the room, because guess what? The moment you'll feel it, you would start your down journey. So you need to make sure that you need to keep on learning to be able to be in this technology world. And on the right hand side, I have just pasted a snippet that says 21st century skills are learning skills, literacy skills, and life skills. There is someone, I think it was Kashish, I think she mentioned that she's social. She likes to interact with more and more people. So these are all the skills that you already have. So you are our next generation leaders. Make sure you take these skills, amplify it, and take it to next level. Now let me help you understand what do I mean by managing up, down, and across. Guess what? Communication is the most critical skill that we all need to have. When you are helping your teacher, your principal, your manager, your boss, and organization understand what you have to offer, you're helping them to reach their objectives. And guess what? Your success is going to help team success, and your team success is going to help your organization to be successful. So no matter where you are, go and ask your people above and who are at your same level, how can you help them? And in order to create this circle, you need to be able to seek feedback and give feedback. And you need to be able to influence with empathy. Then one of the questions that you guys asked me in the beginning, how do you deal with the comfort with conflict? We already discussed this before. And then how do you add your executive presence? So make sure that you work on all these four. Now, people often ask me, including my direct reports, how do I seek feedback? I mean, I'm already good. I'm already excellent at so many things. And when I'm going to ask people this question, give me feedback on this, or how am I doing? They'll be like, yeah, you're doing good. No, what you need to do is if you want to take your skills to next level, you need to ask them, how did I do in this session specifically about leadership? Did I take time to understand user questions? What did I do great that I can do more of? So be specific when you are asking for feedback, because when you will ask for feedback by using this set of questions, how am I doing? What can I do to improve? What can I do to improve in communicating the status of my projects, and tailor these questions according to where you are, you would be able to get that real feedback, and you work on that feedback, show them that you incorporate that feedback, and next time you'll be better. How do you provide feedback? Let's talk about that. And I'll say I'm a champion in giving and receiving feedback, because I was not like that before. Oftentimes coming in from India, I thought that feedback needs to be given only to people who are at my level or people who are levels down. I didn't think that I have the opportunity or I have the privilege to give feedback to people above. So I became director 2 months ago at Microsoft, and I did not wait. I focused on behaviors, not on personality, and I gave that feedback to my GM and to my CVP about the things that I think that they were doing well and things that they didn't do well. And guess what? In return, what they told me is, you were very specific. You pointed out the behavior that we were possessing, and you helped us by being brave, because there are many people who might be thinking like you, but they didn't take the courage to come to us. And you are helping creating that trust in the organization. So the reason why I'm giving you this example is, no matter where you are, you can provide critical performance feedback to people who are at your level or people above, or people who are just entering into the career, because you are giving them that feedback and you are following them with positive reinforcement when you are seeing the desired changes. So make sure you complete this circle. Ask for feedback, give feedback, and when you see that person whom you have given feedback has started seeing or showing the change, you give them positive reinforcement saying, hey, I noticed that you did this, and then you're on the right track. Any question so far that I can answer?
Sure. We do have some questions which we could add. So how do you actually overcome over communication is a question we had in the chat.
So I like the way that the person is asking, how do you overcome over communication? If it was a different word, I would say over communication is a kill. In this word of uncertainty, over communication is actually helping us build more trust, because people are working from home, they are staying in their own premises, they do not have a way to communicate with each other. And over communication, both from the leadership team helping understand what their teams are up to, and from the user's perspective, from your perspective, understanding and showing them the work that you're doing is going to help. So over communication is not a problem in this world of pandemic. If it was before or after, yes, you need to tone it up and tone it down based on where you are. Did that answer this user's question, Salman?
I think so. So basically, to just communicate as much as you can, because otherwise they won't know, especially in this pandemic. It's hard to over communicate. More communications actually better.
Yes, thank you. Let's take one more question and then I'll move on to the next slide.
Yeah.
Yes, I do have a question from Adija. Sometimes you get a feedback that is a misconception about you. Do you explain yourself out or just agree to it?
Love this question. So I'll say I have been in that bucket where people have given me feedback that I don't think that they have seen the whole me. So how do you do it? First of all, if you're going to defend the feedback right then and there, then that person is not going to give you feedback again. So what you can do is my advice, the personal advice that I have worked on is, let's not try to be defensive right then and there. Ask them another open-ended question and ask them what made them think that I am so and so. What did I do? Can you point out the behavior? What did you notice that helped you make this perception about me? And that would really help you understand that even though your intention was not like this, other people might be perceiving you differently. And that person who is perceiving you differently, he or she might not be the only one. There might be other people like him or her. So after asking those open-ended questions, you are actually helping yourself. So first thing, don't be defensive. Always say thank you for giving me this feedback, and then ask more questions to understand.
Ma'am, I have one question.
Yes, please go ahead.
Like you said that, we should answer some open questions that, what made you think about. So should we, try to change the perception of that person then and there itself, like after asking?
No.
So, like, how should we go about that?
So let me tell you a scenario. Let's say in this session, you would give me this feedback. Hey, Pooja, you are too fast. And how you are jumping on to slide by slide, it's not helping our users. So I can tell you, I don't feel it that way. I mean, I feel like I'm giving you guys time. I'm answering those questions. If I'll do it, you'll be like, she doesn't understand. I mean, if she's asking for questions, but she's not ready to take that feedback. Regardless, if I'll change the dynamics and I'll be like, oh, thank you for giving me the feedback. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking that I am doing good, but looks like that person is not with me. So what I'll do is I'll try to up my game a bit, and then I'll circle back with you and I'll ask, what do you think? Do you think that this time I was slower compared to the previous time? And just to shed some light, last time I know that I had to end the session at 10:20 and I was getting late. So I like the fact that you were giving me this feedback. In retrospect, I could have skipped some slides and could have still maintained the speed. What do you think it would convey to that user?
That we have actually listened to a feedback. We have actually thought about it and actually conveyed that what we actually thought.
Yes.
Our side of story, basically.
Yes, and Salman, and Sundar, you just mentioned a couple of, I would say, 15-20 minutes before that you are a great listener. We all need it in us. If we are not listening, we are not going to be able to up our game.
Yes.
I would like to just add, I'm super impressed how you're just remembering everything we're saying and our names. Like associating that with the who's said what. That's incredible. That's just shows how much we need to learn from you, how much of a great listener you are.
Thank you. And I have really worked on this skill. That's why I want to challenge all of us with that thinking. I'm an extrovert and I like to talk. Listening doesn't come naturally to me. After being in Microsoft, I would say in the last 5 to 7 years, I really came to this notion of, you know what? all the good, great leaders in this country or wherever they are, they have to be good listeners. So it's just a skill, you can up it. When you are in a session, you tell yourself, what's the notion for me? I'm gonna listen in, because guess what? The things that I already know, I would know them. If I would listen to others, I'm going to add on to my skill set. So leaders are not born. Leaders can be made. And we all are already exhibiting those traits. Let's move on. Now, one of the favorite things, mindset. Carol Dweck. And now I'm going to just take a minute. I think it was Sundar. Sundar said, be bold, be right. Satya said, right? And that has to do with the mindset. Mindset plays a big role in the success, happiness, and growth of an individual. There are two types of mindset: fixed mindset, growth mindset. People who have fixed mindset, they believe that intelligence is a fixed trait. People who believe in growth mindset, they say that everything, all the good skills can be developed. And it's a great segue into the previous conversation. Leadership can be developed. Leaders are not born. Leaders are born, and they can also be made. So if you haven't had the time to read, I would definitely suggest you go to the site and just read a couple of pages. Read the book Mindset by Carol Dweck, because what it talks about is people who have fixed mindset, people who think that they have the desire to look the smart person in the room. They have the desire to avoid the challenges. They always like to be gloomy. They always like to talk about their failures. They like to blame things on others. They cannot go far. Their IQ can be high, but they cannot go far in their career. Rather than embracing fixed mindset, try to lean into growth mindset. Have the desire to learn, and therefore a tendency to embrace challenges. It's okay not to be right at times. It's okay to be rejected when you are applying for applications. It is okay for you to mess up, because guess what? When you'll mess up, you'll know that next time I messed up there, so I need to pay extra attention second time. Failures are the foundation of success. They are essential to mastery. Be like this 9-year-old kid who is so excited to learn. Be like that person. It's okay for us to fail. It's okay for us to hear criticism for the others. Make sure you try to find lessons and inspiration in the success of others. We all have been in this world where we have seen companies, both Fortune 500 and 1000 companies, emitting two kinds of energy. There are companies who are spreading positive vibes, who are still stating the fact, but they are embracing growth mindset. There are companies who haven't changed their business models. They are still stuck to their old way of thinking, which is we need to be the best. We need to be really competitive. We do not need to think about people. So I would like to help you understand that not just us, but companies are also demonstrating these different mindsets. And you can see companies who have been super successful in their career are the ones that have tried to be on the growth mindset side most of the times. So there are three triggers that I would like you guys to be aware of. Number one, you can lean into the fixed mindset when you are leaving your comfort zone. Let's say I'm delivering a session on leadership presence. If somebody would ask me, can you deliver a session on IoT? That's leaving my comfort zone. So I'll be like, oh, I don't know about that. I have no clue of what IoT is. I just know Internet of Things, and I can just make up things for 5 minutes. But after that, I would be short of words. Rather than that, what I can say is, hey, I'm a great communicator. I'm a great presenter. I know the talk. I can deliver an exciting presentation. Let me do some research. Let me find out some key points that I would like to deliver. And the way that I am positioning myself, I'm bringing myself out of my comfort zone fixed mindset, and I'm jumping into growth mindset. So be aware when somebody is going to ask you, hey, your skill sets are this. What made you qualify for this role? You say that I have some skills that I can apply from my current skill set to this new role, even though the domains are different. So be aware of that trigger, because this is a trigger that would tell you that it's okay, you are not made for this. You can learn. Mindset trigger 2, struggle. We are not going to be successful in life if we haven't been through the struggle in our life, right? So do not be afraid of struggle, because once you go through this struggle journey, you are actually being on the other side, and you know what it takes to be here. You have already demonstrated that passion, that dedication, that perseverance, and you know what it takes to be a successful person. So make sure that this struggle dilemma is not gonna let you switch to fixed mindset when you can be in the spirit of growth mindset. And then the third one, people often would come to you and they'll be like, you are not good at it. What are you talking about? How did you do that? You were rejected so many times. What made you think like that? It's okay. There are so many great CEOs who really didn't take the right step, but they are still here. You learn from your mistakes. So just because you had setbacks, people criticized you, you criticized yourself in the past, do not let you stay in that fixed mindset zone. Come to the growth mindset side. And with that, I'm coming towards the end of my session, which is, this is a picture on the left side of two brains, people who embrace fixed mindset and people who embrace growth mindset. What these two researchers noticed, they did that research in 2011, and they found out that the people who exhibit growth mindset, they start learning from their mistakes. And then the red color in the right brain shows that they started noticing their errors, and they try to correct those errors, and then they try to learn from it. And that's why the growth started to happen within our brain. People who were on the left side, fixed mindset, the green color, they noticed the errors, but the yellow color shows that they noticed the errors and they said, oh, I'm gonna be failing in this test. I would not clear that certification. I would not getting that job. So they started removing themselves. They didn't keep applying. So identify your fixed mindset scenario and name them, because we all would have these two mindsets all the time. I like to call myself a growth-minded professional, but guess what? There are times when I know I have a fixed mindset. And whenever that happens, I tell myself, I'm aware that I am going into that zone. So I try to work on my trigger and bring it back. And it's okay for you not to be back all the time, but as long as you can remember, you can be aware, you can work towards the journey of growth mindset. So let's do a quick recap on what we learned today. We learned about what is leadership, how we all can lead during this pandemic, how can we exhibit executive presence, build our authentic self, and possess superpowers. How can we charge our career by networking with people, by asking them for feedback and giving that feedback and saying thank you, by adopting growth mindset. And then the last one, leadership wisdom. So if there are things that I would like you to take from this session, clarity, be clear. Who do you want to be? You need to be grounded in your values, whether it's your family, whether it's achievement, career, whatever it is. Make sure you take every decision which is based on your values. Number 2, commit to yourself, lifelong learning. And I can bet, as our CEO says, you'll be able to disrupt yourself and people around you for better. And number 3, show up. Be brave, speak up, regardless of your style. Extrovert, introverts, please don't neglect to do this. Put a mirror in front of you and think, what do I want to practice on? And what do I want to capitalize on? What are my strengths? What can I do more of to make sure I'm taking my skills to next level? And number 4th, that I haven't mentioned earlier in the session, it would put, let's say, a bow on a gift. Let's say we are going to have Diwali in October. If I'm giving presents to people without decorating it, without nicely written cards on it, then it just doesn't give that personal feel. That's what I mean by reflection. Reflect. What I mean by that is, if not at the end of each given day, at the end of each week, reflect on things that you did that week. What are the things that you did good at? What are the things that you did good? Things where you spent time that you should not have. And what do you want to do next week? So reflect and journal. Journalism journaling is a good skill. Take notepad, and I have these notepads always in front of me. Either I'll have a pencil or a paper. Before going to bed, I'll just write down 2-3 things that I think were really helpful during that day. So I am here for you. The question that I have for all of you is, what is one thing that resonated with you the most? What was the most useful thing for you in the session today? Please write it down. And I want our MSP organizers to let me know what other people are saying in terms of their key takeaway.
Sure, ma'am.
Also, post what you learned today, what you resonated with. Tag Pooja on LinkedIn. We've got her link over here as well. You got all the details. Tag her on LinkedIn. You know, tell her exactly what you've learned, because, you know, as she mentioned, it's about feedback as well. She's open to hearing feedback, and that's how you grow.
Thank you.
I would like to thank you, Pooja. Thank you for an enlightening session. We all appreciate having these certain aspects of our professional life cleared. Since we all are entering in a new growth phase, we are highly motivated by the views and the guidance on leadership and building strengths to achieve peak performance. We all are heartily thankful to you, really.
I am very thankful. Thank you for letting me be here. I was there in your shoes 15 years ago. If other people did not inspire me or didn't mentor me, I would not have been here. So I feel like I have a responsibility to play to contribute to this community. So I do want to hear what is your key takeaway. So please, please, please take time, enter in the chat window. What is one thing that resonated with you the most?
Okay. So people have wrote message in chat. So Sripat says that positivity in these times of uncertainty. And Arnav is saying that, Arnav is saying there's so many takeaways to go. Well, and Anush is writing that listen when others speak, give and get suggestions. Leaders can be made, have a growth mindset, be the 9-year-old kind who keeps learning and inspire at everything. And Ganesh mentions as the most important for him was to be able to learn about that 2-minute elevator speech that you said.
Very good. Anything else coming up?
Simon was also said that positivity, time, and motivating to do in the better.
Good. What about you all, my organizers?
Ma'am, according to me, it was that creating an elevator pitch. Like, that was great. Of course, we need to tell the person about us because it is the first impression we give to the person.
Right. Yes.
I really learned about how to take feedback on, because like that it's hard to sometimes, you know, take feedback when you think you're doing it, but you never know really. So yeah, I've learned a lot on that, and I'll hope to implement that more.
Personally, I learned about the reflection thing, like, you know, after taking the feedbacks, you know, reflecting on yourself. I think that was a major takeaway for me. So yeah, thank you so much for that.
For me, it was like there is no individual who hasn't failed in their life, and we also know that it is the best way to learn and upgrade. So I learned that there is no time that is limited to you, and you can upgrade yourself at any moment. There is no phase where you can stop learning.
Very good. See, the way that you are sharing your key takeaways, I feel like you are helping our users do a recap. So thank you for bringing this energy to the team. So I do speak at global events. So if you need me to talk to your organization, reach out to me. This is my email. My personal quote is there, and these are my focus areas and topics. With this, I'm going to hand it over to my organizers and answer any questions that they have.
So, ma'am, we would be heading on to the remaining questions that are left unanswered.
Okay.
So, the first one comes here. While leading a team, there might be a situation when you being a leader have different perspectives. but others favor some other point. As a leader, whose perspective should you prioritize?
Great question. So whose perspective you would categorize when you have different people coming in with different perspectives? So I'll answer it this way. It really boils down to the situation. Let's say I have a high strategic deliverable due and I have to get back to my leadership team, and this situation requires time sensitivity. At that time, I would not have time to listen, let's say to have a brainstorming session asking everybody in, because I need to take a step forward. So at that time, I'll use my, as a leader, I would use the skills and learning that I have from other users that they have shared with me in the past, and then come to the collective decision and share it with my leadership team. If it's a general, let's say a thing that we are working on right now, then you need to be able to be the last person in the call, because oftentimes a person of higher authority would speak first, and then other people who have different thoughts, they would not bring their perspectives. So be like a leader who would listen to others' perspective first, and when they are done talking about it, then you acknowledge and then you add on or share your different perspective, if that helps.
What
Did it
an
answer
amazing
that
answer,
question?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am, definitely. Definitely helps so many people out there who face it regularly.
Okay, good.
So the next question is that it is a very common issue that sometimes people feel shy in telling their achievements and talents. Maybe they're shy or underconfident. How to overcome this situation? How to do personal branding in this case?
I love it. And I am so keen on this topic because this is one of my another favorite topic, personal branding. And I often give advice to people. And maybe, you know what, later on in the year, we can do a personal branding session. So I'll say this. People who feel like they need to be shy of their own achievements, talking about your achievements is not bragging. You're not all the time talking about your achievements. You are talking about your accomplishments or achievements at the time when you have to ask for a promotion, when you are asking for a new assignment, when you are demonstrating your excellence to someone else. So do not think that you are exaggerating on your own for yourself or you're boasting yourself. Make sure you think about, if you are authentic to yourself and you have done remarkable things, you need to be able to speak up. Why? Because there is no one who would speak for you unless you start speaking for yourself. So again, go back to that analogy that I used before. If you are sitting in your own career car, just because you were not able to tell people that I went to that location at this much speed, would you let the another opportunity slip your hand? You would not. So keep that in mind, that you need to be able to own yourself and have a trust and go for telling about your achievements.
Thank you
Did it?
so much, ma'am, for such a wonderful answer.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So can we move ahead with the next question?
Yes, please go ahead. Keep asking questions and I'll answer, then we'll move along.
Yeah. People have different strengths and weaknesses, different likes and dislikes. With this mixed set of interests, how shall an individual make the most out of his or her strength?
Great question. So I can answer it. I would actually like to challenge you guys. One of you take this question, because I want to know what's your perspective and what have you learned from this session. So what can you do to leverage more of your strengths? Who can take it?
I don't mind. I don't mind taking this if no one else. So your strengths. You have your strengths for a reason, I guess, and that reason is to help other people. And this is the same thing I would say about knowledge, and it's that quote which leads back to any knowledge which isn't shared is wasted knowledge. So apply that to your strengths. So you might think, oh, okay, I have these certain strengths, but I can't use it for myself. Use it for other people. Use it to help them because they don't have those strengths. They have other strengths which can help you. That's essentially how businesses work at the end of the day. So it's
Very
teamwork.
good.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Pleasure.
That was one of the most perfect answers, Salman. Thank you so much for sharing your views. I hope the audience is also clear about it. So, moving ahead, in such a huge crowd of individuals, how can we increase our employment opportunities? How can we be a part of big multinational companies like Microsoft, Google, etc.?
So there are many things that I wanted you guys to learn from this session, and there are other skills that you already have. So keep in mind when you're trying to create an employment sort of opportunity for yourself, and when you're trying to create a mark among a group of qualified individuals, what differentiates you from others, a hiring manager would not know. They are just reading your resume and they are having a session with you. So what can you do to let that other person on the other side know what makes you different? So go beyond your current skill set. As these MSP organizers, Salman, Sundar, Kashish, Kaustab, and Saumya are doing, they are not just building on their excellence in their domain, they are actually taking a step further to communicate it to other communities and other people. So things like that would stand out. So make sure when you are applying for a job, you are actually highlighting your technical skills, your soft skills, and leadership skills, whether it's volunteering in an project, whether it's a community project that you led, or whether it's a session where you kind of trained other people, computer science people or students, or did the Minecraft, let's say Minecraft 1 hour code training. Make sure you highlight those, because when people see that, they're like, you know what, when that individual would be joining our team, they are not going to be asked just to do their role. They have to be able to share their learning with others. And how they'll be able to do it? If they can step in, if they can step up, and they can actually start sharing their knowledge by conducting leadership sessions or other sessions, or maybe knowledge sharing sessions. So make sure when you're trying to highlight, you talk about your superpowers, your elevator pitch, and things that you have done either on a volunteer basis, or things that you have done to contribute to the community, and bake that into the whole story. Do you guys want to add something to it? Sundar, anything to add?
Well, you told all the points, so the thing that what I wanted to include is already included.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
I think her internet is lagging again. Should I continue then?
Yes,
Hello,
please go ahead.
hello, I'm here.
Oh,
I was saying that what is that one thing that we should include in our resume? That what do the recruiters actually see in our resume? Besides that, what is that first thing?
What is that first thing? So let me ask you guys this. Now you're asking me what is that first thing? Great question. I want one of you to answer. Where did we start? And what was the thing that we talked about?
Elevator pitch.
There you go.
Okay.
That elevator pitch is going to be your executive summary. And why I would like to call this as an executive summary. So I am in audit finance team, and I lead technology and data analytics for that group. When we go and report out our story and success story to board of directors at Microsoft, we often prepare huge word reports. Now, there are so many pages in that report, but in the beginning, we have 1 page or 2 page executive summary summarizing the success, summarizing all those things that haven't worked well in that given year. And our board of directors would go through that executive summary and would get that theme. And another analogy that I'll use is, if let's say you are opening a book, rather than going through the book, you want to look at the preface and you want to look at the agenda and you want to get a sense of what that book is going to be about. So make sure your elevator pitch is your executive summary, is your preface to that book, to your book.
Okay.
And that's what's going to stand out.
Yes, ma'am. I'm understanding that an elevator pitch is the key to so many doors that we can open if it is good and if it is worth looking at.
Yep, you got it.
So here's the next question.
Mm-hmm.
As it is commonly said that rock bottom will teach you lessons that mountain tops never will. So failure is a part of every successful person. But many of us aren't able to manage defeat and stress. Can you help us in some of the ways in which we can overcome from it?
Great question. So I'll say some of us, including me, at times when I fail at something, I feel like, how is it possible? I mean, I have gained so much professional success and then personal success in life. How is it possible that I screwed up on this thing? And it's okay to be in that fixed mindset for, let's say, couple of minutes, or maybe for a couple of hours, or maybe for a couple of days. But then you tell yourself, where am I going? I'm actually being a victim of a trigger which was setback. So I'm actually going and slipping into that fixed mindset. What can I do? You can be your own coach, your own personal ambassador. You can be your own, let's say, ally at that time, and you can tell yourself, what can I do to be into that growth mindset? So an approach that I would like to share that I often use with myself is, let's say if I am not doing good at one thing, I'll try to coach myself and I'll say that if this is me, I'm looking into the mirror, or I'm trying to be the other person who is looking at me from this angle. And I'll be like, what is the advice that this person being me, would give it to this person who is me at the given moment? And we know what advice would come from that person. That would be, hey, Pooja, you are stuck in that fixed mindset at this time. You need to move yourself to growth mindset. And how can I be? I don't need to then keep ruminating over that failure. I need to move out. And how do I do it? I need to then focus on my strengths and my success stories so far. And the moment I'll open up my mind saying that, hey, I was the same person who did this, and this, it's okay for me to be minus minus here, but look at how many positive I have. So I can be that same person again. And then I'm bringing myself from fixed and I'm moving to growth mindset.
Yes, Sam. Thank you so much. I was able to relate so much with this question because, but what I found perfect here that we have to avoid ourselves from slipping in this situation. We need to understand that trigger and understand that this is a challenge to us and we need to face.
Yep, I agree.
We have one more question that
Sure.
how can I lead a team where I know I'm leading people who are better than me? I'm not making them and not making them feel that I'm overruling them and their ideas.
Excellent question. Excellent. If you look at one of the focus area and talk topic that I am mentioning here, it's managing teams and communication. And I love it because we often feel that we have been the person who was the smartest in the room. But guess what? In order to be a leader, you are always going to be managing teams and finding and recruiting talent who is going to be smarter than you. Then what you can do at that time, rather than being a manager who is really detail oriented, who would like to be use their authority over others, you be a manager who would love to coach, care, and be that role model. You like to coach them, and rather than being an advice monster, rather than giving them an advice in terms of, hey, this is a way to solve the problem, do it this way, do it this way. No, you are going to ask questions. And that's this thing is, this question is so closer to my heart because I feel like I'm in that situation on days where I have a great team of smart individuals. And then I'm like, okay, I can keep on delivering the best that I can. How do I nurture them? In order to do that, I am using a framework of coaching questions. I'll ask them those questions, and you can use the same framework, and we can have another session on this if you want later on. The question that I normally ask them: what is top of mind for you? And what else? What is a real challenge that you are facing? How can I help? And what is the most important thing that they take from this conversation that we had for them? By asking them questions, not solutions, you are actually letting them think outside their area of competence. And you are sharing your stories only when they are required. You are identifying individuals and putting them in that quadrant where if they are really high performer, you do not need to direct them. You need to let them be the best version of themselves. And how you can do it? By coaching them. If they are not performing to the level that you want them to be, then you need to be more directive. You need to set, let's say, daily goals or weekly goals for them, and you need to make sure that you are assessing their performance against those goals. I hope it helped. Did I miss something,
Yes.
or do you guys have anything to add?
I
Salman,
would.
do you have it?
I wanted to like ask, how would you like balance, this whole leadership, career coaching thing, along with, upskilling that growth mindset within like skills itself? Because like you doing these things on the side, like leading is very good, but then also like focusing on your actual job, like, hey, I need to deliver X, Y, Z. This product might like OKRs, KPIs, things like that, because those are essentially the things you'll be measured on, I think, more than a career thing.
Yes. So how do you balance it out? So the question really boils down to you as a person. So for me, these things are not my extra curricular activities. These are the things, these are through my speaking engagement, through my mentoring sessions, I actually inspire people. I give them energy and I get back so much in terms of energy and that positivity. And when I see me as a person who is driving execution excellence of where we are or where I am, I feel like I know how to be really excellent at what I'm doing. And this is something that I can do in order to just feel that internal satisfaction. So to me, finding out these extracurricular activities, whether it's like you're speaking or you're mentoring or singing or dancing, everything comes back to these professional skills. So I like to dance on Bollywood songs, and people who are in my team, they know that I'm a lover of huge, let's say, I'm a huge lover of Bollywood dancing. So when I dance on different songs, you have to be expressive, you have to be in sync, you are delivering a rehearsal performance to an audience, right? You need to time up your things. So these are the skills that I'm bringing in back to my role. If I'm a presenter and I don't know how to be expressive, presentation is going to be down. So how do you make sure you bring those things and bake that into your core skill?
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, that answers.
Welcome.
Yeah. There's a question. Well, we do have a lot more questions in the chat. It's coming in.
Very good.
We have how do we overcome? So this is from Manbia. How do we overcome the feeling of underachieving? Since being in the 20s, like age-wise, feels like life is so fast-paced that sometimes it's really overwhelming to keep up.
So I'll say this. First of all, that feeling in itself is killing us from inside. Rather than being in a river that would keep on flowing and you do not know where your boat is going to take you, doesn't matter if your boat is small or big. Both of the boats knows how to swim in that river. So apply that same mindset to you. We all are here for a reason. You do not need to compare your success to somebody else's success because we all are in our different lanes of this journey. The moment you realize it, you'll be like, I'm not comparing myself to other person. I am just assessing my performance today compared to my performance last year or yesterday. And if you feel like you are taking a step ahead, you have gained something, you have learned something, whether it's your technical area or a soft skill area, you are already upgrading yourself. And that feeling in itself would tell you that you are not an underachiever. So don't say to yourself, I'm an underachiever, or look at these people. I mean, they are really super successful. No, you can be there. You don't need to be them. You need to be just you. The reason is you're comparing yourself with others. Don't do that.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was so motivating. Like, our imagination is just our limit, and if we come across it, we can go ahead without any barrier.
Yes. Limitations exist here in our mind. I can do whatever I want to do. I mean, keeping in mind that sensitivity and let's say the good thing, but limitations would start coming in from here. Don't let it
Yes,
ruin your life. Let it lead your life.
we are learning so many things today. Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're very welcome.
There is one more question. Whenever I give presentation in my campus, I get some guys whose aim is to make my PPT awful. How to handle them?
So I want to understand a little bit more when that person is saying the other people would like to make their presentation awful. Does it mean that they like to interrupt more, or would they just keep asking those questions that you don't have answers about? Help me understand more so I can tailor my answer accordingly.
I think that are the disturbing ones.
Meaning they keep interrupting?
Yeah, who keep on commenting negative things.
Okay, so if I am in that situation, first of all, I have not been in that situation, so I'm gonna now empathize with that person. If I am in that situation, I can exhibit different behaviors. Number one behavior, I can be defensive and I can say, hey, this is not accepted. Or I can be strategic and I can still exhibit my thing, which is be bold, be brave, be you. You are feeling it. That's why you are asking this question. So let me ask you this. Before giving that presentation, since you already know those trouble people or those people that are not going to give, let's say, positive vibes, you go and talk to them separately. You prep them and you ask them, hey, can you help me understand what's the real problem? What's the real people to people problem that we have? Because oftentimes project problems are there because there are people problems beforehand. So if you understand and build that people to people connection first, we would not be able to have project problems later. So here the project is that presentation. So what have you done to understand why are they just critical in nature? If they are, then you can actually start your presentation by saying, I know there are people who think differently. My intention is to share my perspective, and I am more than happy to have that discussion towards the end where they can bring in their perspective.
Yeah. How
Thank you.
can I just ask how would if it's on like a scale like this, if it's like two people we don't potentially know, how would we avoid those people problems? Would that just be to, as you say at the beginning, to say, okay, we understand that there are problems, but our main intention is this. We can address it in another way online, in email or something.
Mm-hmm. Or you can take it offline and you can say, first of all, whenever somebody would ask a question, rather than downgrading it right then and there, you can definitely say, thank you for your question. Looks like the question's theme is not so closely tied to this. Can I answer this offline? How about after this conversation? After this session, let's have a discussion. One. Number two, in the interest of time, the agenda that we have, I feel like we would not be able to cover your question in details. How about we set up some time and then we'll bring in another person and then three of us will have discussion. There would be very, I would say, few times when that other person would say, no, I want the answer right now. And if they will still insist for that answer, either you try to answer that question or you ask other person, maybe your manager, or if that situation is, let's say, college, you ask your teacher then and there and you can say, I would like to defer this question to my teacher. What do you think? And then you are trying to create good vibes by building that people to people connection. Maybe that person doesn't go along with well, but that person must go along with the other person and you're bringing creating that bridge, if
And
that
then
helps.
yeah, and then from there applying that same thing you said before, when they say they give you feedback, even if you don't agree with it, ask that, say thank you first, and then ask them open-ended questions.
Yes. Yep.
Cool. Thank you so much. That's so helpful.
Welcome. So I see we are at 11:02. I don't have problems staying in for a couple of minutes just to finish up questions.
Yeah, we actually because interest of time, we don't want to take up too many people's time. We know it's late there in India and Pakistan and Asia region. So yeah, we would love to just thank you so much for coming on the session with us. We're super super grateful. So thank you so much, Pooja. It's been an honor to have you here. Everyone in the call has learned so much. Everyone in the chat, in the audience, super grateful. We're super inspired by you, and we'd as you I'm sure would love to do. Come on the talk again in the future. We just want to learn so much from you. There's so much we can't fit into this one session. So yeah, hopefully we can do that.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much to Saumya, Sundar, Salman, you, Kashish, Costa for organizing this event. And I feel really honored to be here because, as I mentioned, I was there before. And what you can do in this time is to give back by sharing and learning from others. So thank you, everyone. I think after the call, either MSP organizers or I'll post a comment on our LinkedIn post. And if there are any questions or feedback, I would really like to mention to you, please share your feedback about this session or your questions to our post, and that way others can also get benefit. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Stay safe.
Thank you so much.
Stay positive,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Everyone, also we've got the workshop trailer, which you should all tune into, which we have here. So I'm just going to play the teaser trailer and Dawood will give a good talk on it. Yeah, this is Dawood above me here. Here's the teaser. So,
Hi, Rahul.
See whether I can unmute myself.
cool, that's it.
I'm trying to mute myself.
There it is.
Just
Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. So I played the trailer. I didn't share my screen, but I just played the workshop video. So Dawood, of course, amazing Dawood. We don't need to introduce him. Do you want to talk a bit very quickly about MSP Inspire workshops?
MSP Inspire workshop.
Sure. Sorry I was trying to unmute myself and it wasn't, I don't know, the usual technical stuff, right? But am I audible enough?
Yeah. You're a bit laggy, like teleporting, but like...
Laggy down.
Oh, I would switch off my video so I can talk.
Cool. I mean, we can see you, we can hear you fine, so either way.
Awesome.
Also,
have you played the trailer? Let me know when the trailer is.
Yeah, everyone, Pooja's link, we have posted it. Also, you can find the stuff in the description. Every link to everyone here as well. So yeah, check them out. Can we get some echo?
That's Dawood.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, sorry, I was on YouTube listening. So thank you very much. I was on YouTube on my phone and joining here as well, so I could see the noise was just echoing into the whole chat. But thank you very much. Actually, we are so inspired seeing all of you from across the globe joining us on MSP Inspire and getting inspired by the series of great people that come here to talk to you. And we are so thankful for the organizers who joined us here today, so inspired by the work, the great advertisements, and then everything that you put up to make this happen. We hope you still stay with us every time. We just want to say thank you very much for our 1,000K followers on subscribers here. If you didn't subscribe, make sure you subscribe. Now, the last thing I want to say is that we know a lot of problems that goes on within, when organizers try to, try to organize a workshop, right? They try to find content that they can just use maybe someone's slide, and then they try to find out whether there's a video that explains the concept that they want to, present, right? So that they could get, other people's perspective on, how to deliver that particular content. So because of that, we actually introduced the MSP Inspire Workshop. All right. So the MSP Inspire Workshop is an open source contribution. Any of you can contribute to that particular one. Just go to our GitHub. Go to our GitHub and then go to our repo on workshops, and you are able to find out about MSP Inspire Workshop, and you'll be able to contribute to it. So this is really massive. MSP Inspire Workshop is one of the things that we are looking forward that in 1 year time we'll be producing over 100 free content that organizers, whether MVP, MSP, whoever you are, community builder, you can just pick it up and run a workshop for your co-students on campus, and then create more impact. That is what we are looking forward to. So we are really thrilled to see that a lot of hardworking people are working on this particular content, including Ganesh, who is leading that particular team, and we have Simran, we have Usman, we have Vedan. We have amazing hardworking folks who are really working on this thing. So thank you very much for tuning in. I guess we'll play the trailer, workshop trailer for the last, before we have Salman and all the organizers give their last take to end the session.
Yeah, we've already played the workshop trailer, but yeah, no, I just showed the meetup link if you all want to sign up for that. That's another place you can get notified of our events as opposed to YouTube.
And before, let me mention that the workshop is coming on Wednesday.
Yeah,
Wednesday,
I put the post up.
Yeah. So make sure you RSVP and then click on here to make sure to show that you are attending. Share it to your people. Let them know. We're going to be talking about
natural language processing and speech recognition by Shashida Javaji.
Yes.
On the 10th of June, 2020, 3:30 p.m. GMT, 9 p.m. IST. He's an intern at LTRC Lab, IITH, Microsoft Student Partner. # Wisdom Wednesdays. Check out on Meetup. I'll post the link in the chat.
Awesome. There you go, Salman, in case you want.
But yeah, no, thank you so much, everyone. Any last words from anyone here today? Kashish, Kostab, Sundar, Saumya?
I just want to say that special thanks to Saumya, Kostab, and Kashish to mainly organize this event. And well, Salman to streaming.
Really, it was a great event. Really, I enjoyed a lot. I was nervous, but now it feels so great.
Yeah, it's.
What I liked the most was the company of you guys, because whenever one failed, you were always there to motivate us and make us do what we were afraid of. Thank you so much, guys.
Well, we love working with you, and we'd love to do more in the future.
Definitely. Even we are looking forward.
Awesome. Kostab, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, man. Thank you so much, guys. I mean, you and Sundar were really helpful in that, because this is my first event actually. So yeah, I mean, it's great to organize it with you guys, and looking forward to more MSP Inspire events.
Yes, let's do more. Do more.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Gonna end there, unless there's anything you wanted to add, David.
Why you dropped that? Have you already dropped it?
Okay. Never mind.
Okay, let's get it.
Never mind. Cool. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you everyone who joined in the chat. Thank you Shita, thank you Simonaj, thank you Ganesh, thank you.
Thank you, Salman.
Thank you. Thank you, Harshal, thank you, Manvir, thank you. Pallavi,
thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I
just see Ganesh spam. Thank you, Anush. Ganesh spam. It's hard to find other people. Thank you, Azaruddin S. Thank you, Dami. Thank you, Kalp. Thank you, Shripad. Vishet. Amazing people. Yeah, join our Discord down below. Connect with us, and yeah, follow everyone in down below, and also tell Pooja 3P on LinkedIn what you learned from today, and we'll see you next week with the university recruitment team. So that was aggressive.
Oh no, this week. We will this. We are going to
I
run this.
think
Okay, your
I
time
think
zone, time zone, time zone.
this week is actually Saumya. Saumya is an AI
Oh,
engineer
sorry.
from Microsoft. And we will be with the recruitment team, I think, the following week or so. Yeah, that is it.
Yeah, so next week for Sunda, this week is Saumya. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone. As usual, we'll be back to Saturdays, 4:30 p.m. GMT. Thank you so much to Saumya for all of this. Kashish, Kostab, Sunda, Dawood, and Pooja. Couldn't have done this without them. And yeah,
Everyone did a great job, really.
yeah.
Keep
Awesome.
inspiring and bye bye.
Learn, share, and inspire. Thank you for 1,000 subs as well.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Going to play the trailer. Let me close Teams. Actually, was there we should probably just mention one thing before we go. This university recruitment thing, we'll be splitting up into, there'll be different regions. So, you know, if you're from EMEA, if you're from Americas, if you're from Asia, we have like different part for each of you. So, you know, it's all, you know, there for you to join. So do make sure to tune into that. It will be a 3-week thing. So yeah, it's gonna be a good thing you don't want to miss. So yeah, without further ado, here's our trailer, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.